Hi, and thanks for coming over today. I wanted to show you something that I've been working on. Now, as a web designer, I sometimes get bored with different things that I'm doing, and what I try to do is I try to find something new out there with other websites, try to learn from other designers and see what they're doing. One of the things that I noticed was that I found a website that did this really nice little logo that kind of stretches out over you've got kind of a background header area here. You've got an area up top with your phone number and your business email address, and the whole thing it's sticky. It sticks to the top of the page when you scroll, and I like the way that it has this nice shadow effect over the top. It kind of gives it a 3D feel, kind of almost as if your logo was kind of standing out over the rest of the website, which is nice. You want that. I found that if you look at the standard Divi header, you kind of get something like this with a kind of a flat, one-dimensional logo, maybe a header up here that has white, or you could make that clear so it would kind of show the background image. You've got your header up here, your secondary menu with your information, possibly some social media icons. But I really just didn't like the way this was looking here, and I thought it could do something a lot more professional. So, like I said, what I did was I enabled a theme builder template, and I created a theme builder template, and it produced this look here where the logo stands out a lot more, and I just thought it looks a lot more interesting and a lot more fun. So I'm going to start at the very beginning, and I'm going to show you how to put one of these custom headers together to get that effect with the logo that stands out and kind of looks a little bit 3D. Let's go ahead and start right now. Now, the first thing you're going to need to really get started is a logo that has a clear background, and it's a PNG in my case. And what I wanted to do is go ahead and pull some of the color from this logo, and so I kind of grabbed this blue color here, and I already put this in on my Divi theme so that it's an option. I can easily just grab this hexadecimal code and use it on my custom header. And like I said, I created this logo with a little bit of a shadow down below like this to kind of give it a shadow effect, and then it also has sort of a white, almost as if light were hitting the top of it to kind of give it a feel as if it's a sort of a 3D object with light actually sitting on the top of it. So this is a very important element in this type of design because you need to have this clear background here, and you need to export this as a PNG onto your desktop or wherever you keep your files, and then we'll upload this logo with a clear background and a little bit of shadowing on it, and that's going to give us some of the effect that we're looking for. Okay, so to find the area that you want to start editing, you're going to need to go down here from your dashboard. Hopefully you've got Divi installed, and then you click on your Divi Builder, your theme builder. Now I know there's a lot of different ways to do this, and I appreciate any input, and if you want to put your comments and your suggestions for alternative ways to do this down in the comments, that'd be great. Let's be nice about it. We know that there's a whole bunch of different ways to do this. This is just kind of a quick and dirty way that I do it. And what we're going to do is we're going to start right here. We're going to click on Add Global Header. Now the global header is going to start to populate up here, and it's going to create a section for us. Sections are always blue, like this. And then within sections, you're going to have different rows. Rows are always green. And then within rows, you're going to have different types of modules that are going to be placed in those rows. So let's go ahead and start with our first section. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here and we're going to get rid of a lot of the spacing that exists around this section. See, if you see here, there's what they call padding. And there's some padding up here as well. And we're going to get rid of all of our margins and our padding just to make this, because what we're going to want is we're going to want our design to be at the very top of our website. Kind of like this. We're going to want it to go right up to the top. and not have any space in here and very little space inside it. So let's go ahead and set that up. So we go into our section and we go right over here to sizing. And for sizing, we're just, for sizing, we're going to just make this full width. Where's that at? Full 100% full width. And max width, I always make that 2100 pixels. We'll make that pixels. And I don't really know why I use 2100. It's big enough. I've never run into a problem with a browser that made that look bad. You can always make that larger if you want, but that's the max width that I go with. Then we're going to go down here to spacing, and we're going to just put zeros in all these margins. That's the space around the element, and then we're going to put zeros in the padding, and that's the space within the element. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're going to hit save. There we go. So now what we've done is we've taken that section and we've gotten rid of a lot of that padding, and we've gotten rid of a lot of that, gotten rid of those margins. And so now we can start building. The first part that we're going to build is going to be the very top blue. It's called a secondary menu in the Divi themes, and we're going to go ahead and create that secondary menu area. It's going to have the blue background that we took from our logo, and it's going to have our email address and our phone number. So we'll go ahead and we'll add a new row, and it's going to be a full width row with no columns. And we'll go ahead and we'll add a text module to that. Now here we're going to go ahead and add our email address and our phone number. And we're going to add what's called a pipe as a spacer between them. And the pipe is just a backslash when you hold shift down. So that's my email address. Go ahead and email me. Let me know what you think about this. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to set up our text. We'll go ahead and use the default font, and we're going to make that bold. And since we're going to do a blue background, we're going to want to use white text. And we want that text size, I like it to be about, let's make it about 16. And then we're going to go ahead and align that text on the right. And we'll go ahead and save that. Oh, before, I should have done this before I saved it, but we'll go back in and we'll fix this. That's our text module. I'm going to go down here and we'll go ahead and save it, sorry. And we're going to go up here to the section right here, and we'll edit that. And we'll make that background that blue that I told you about. And we're going to go ahead and fix the sizing on that as well. So let's make that 100% wide, and we'll go with max width, and we'll do that 2100 like I told you before. Go ahead and align that center, and we'll save. Now, one of the things that we can see right here is that we've got some padding. So let's get rid of that padding, and we'll do it right here in the row settings. So spacing. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. We'll put zeros in. All right. Nice. And I want to go ahead and give it a little bit of space up on top. So it's a little bit hard to click on the elements when you start removing all that spacing, because there we go. Because you've gotten rid of the spacing, and like I said, the elements are a lot closer together now. So for this text, let's go ahead and let's put a little bit of spacing on the right. We'll just do that as padding. We'll put a little bit of padding on top and bottom. Now, one of the things I want to fix is this 20 pixels. I'm going to go ahead and make that 5%. And the reason is I want this to sort of be uniform throughout devices. So I like 5% there better. Now let's go ahead and save. Now we're going to create the area right below this, which is going to be where our logo sits. It's going to sit right there, and we're going to have our menu right over here. And just to refresh your memory, this is how that's going to look. I've got 4 items in my menu. We're going to have a little bit of padding here above and below the menu. We're going to have this, we're going to put this logo in, and it's going to appear to kind of stick out over this this row that is a little bit smaller than the logo. So let's go ahead and create that. We're going to start here by adding another row, and we'll just hit the add new row, and we're going to do a row that is, it's going to have the logo over on the left hand side, and it will do this like 1/4 by 3/4 row. And the first thing it wants to do is it's going to ask us what kind of a module we want over there. Let's go ahead and we're going to put an image module. We'll go ahead and use that right there, and let's go ahead and put our image in right away. And I already uploaded my image, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab it from right there. And you want to have your alt text and your title and your description in there, and that's just good SEO. We added our logo, and let's go ahead and put a link to our home page. That's just the /, and we'll have that open in the same window, and we're going to go ahead and save that. And now I'm going to grab this little add a new module here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a menu module in. So the menu module is down here. We'll just go ahead and pop that right in there, and click save. And so that's what we've got so far. Now again, the styling isn't where we want it. So first things first, let's go ahead and take care of the logo itself. So we're going to do some spacing elements on that, and then we're going to do some work on our menu over here, and we're also going to do a little bit of work on this this row, this green row. So why don't we go ahead and start with the green row, and we'll size that up. Let's make the sizing the first order of business here. We'll go ahead and click on that. Once again, we want this row to go the full width. And let's go ahead and use our 2100 again. There we go. And we'll go ahead and have the row aligned center. I use 70 pixels for the height. And for the max height, I'm also going to use 70 pixels. So we'll keep that the same size. Now let's set up our spacing. Let's go ahead and use all zeros again. This will just remove any padding or any margins that are there, and it makes it a little easier for us to know what we're dealing with. Let's go ahead and save. Now we can see that our logo is a little bit too big here, so let's go ahead and set up some of the sizing and the spacing on our logo. First thing we're going to do is fix the sizing. I want to make this logo 300 pixels wide, max width. Now let's work on the spacing. I'm going to go ahead and turn off this show space below the image. That just adds a little bit of padding. Now let's fix the margins. What we're going to do is we're going to set up the desktop margins, and then we're going to set up the mobile margins and the tablet margins separately. For desktop, let's use minus 30 pixels for the top. And we'll use minus 50 pixels on the bottom. And I think that's going to put it in a place where I like it. Now you can try different settings for these to move your logo around. And remember, I've got a little bit of space here that maybe you don't have. So 30 and 50 works well for me. On the left-hand side, I'm going to go ahead and use a 5% margin. To set up your tablet and your mobile, just click on this little icon. So what it does is it shows us our desktop. Now let's go over here to tablet. I'm going to use 0 pixels. And then on the left, I'm going to go ahead and keep the 5%. On the phone, I'm going to keep the zeros, but on the left and the right, I'm going to go ahead and click Auto, and this will center it. Now let's save. And you can see what's happening is that our logo is now positioning itself where we want it to be. But remember, we still have to create our centerpiece here and our menu that's going to fit inside there. Let's style the menu next. We don't need any additional elements for this design, although you can turn on the shopping cart icon or the search icon if you want the little magnifying glass icon and the ability to let people search your website. Let's go over here to the design area, and then we'll start setting up our layout and our spacing and sizing. Let's go ahead and click on Layout. Now let's set up our menu text. We want our menu text to be dark because the background is going to be white. So let's go ahead and we'll make our active link color that dark blue. We're going to keep the menu font as it is. We're going to make the menu font weight bold. And we're going to make the menu text color black. Now let's make the menu text size 16 pixels. Scroll down just a little bit here, and we'll make the text alignment line to the right. We're going to make the mobile and the tablet settings align to the left. So we'll click on tablet, align it to the left. We'll click on phone, and we'll also keep it aligned to the left. Now let's go down to the spacing area. On the desktop, we want a 20 pixel top margin and a 15% right margin. Now your spacing on the phone and tablet don't matter for this menu because we're going to disable this menu on tablet and phone. Let's go over here to the advanced area, and under visibility, let's go ahead and disable this on the phone and on the tablet. Now let's save. Now let's create our mobile menu. Let's go ahead and add yet another row, and we'll make it a full width row. And in there, we'll just close this out and leave it empty for right now. And now let's go ahead and duplicate our menu up here because most of the settings are the way we want them. So we'll click on this and duplicate the module. Now let's go ahead and configure our mobile menu. Let's go over to the design area for our mobile menu, and we'll click on spacing. We can go ahead and remove these margins since this area is going to be in a separate section. Now let's go ahead and click on that module once again, and we're going to set the alignment, and we're going to align it centered. Save again, and there we go. Now it's centered the way we want it. Now we only want this menu to show up when we're looking at this website on a mobile or tablet. So let's go ahead and disable it on desktop. Click on Settings, go to Advanced, and then Visibility, and we're going to disable on desktop. Go ahead and save. Now we wanted to put a little bit of background image in here just to make things look a little nicer. So let's go ahead and add that right now. To do that, let's go up here to the overall section and we're going to put a background image. Click on the edit, go to background image, we're going to click the image itself, and we want a very light background image. So I went ahead and created one that looks kind of modern. We'll add that. Now we want this to be clear and not blurry like this. So let's not use the cover setting, let's use the actual size setting. And then let's repeat. Okay, we're going to center it, and we're going to go ahead and click on background image repeat. We want it to repeat vertically and horizontally. That way it'll cover the entire background of the menu. Now let's save. Now we can see that it's in there, but the problem is we've got some, our menu module apparently has a white background. And we want to go ahead and get rid of that because that just doesn't look good. So let's edit that menu module. And then we'll go back over here to background. And we will go ahead and select white. And now let's edit that, and we're going to bring the transparency all the way down so that it's completely gone. And let's save it. Now we can see right through the back of that menu. Now let's do the same thing here. And we save. Let's go ahead and save the whole thing one more time. What we've done is we've created a logo that sticks out, and it's going to stand out over this piece right here that is going to be our menu. This won't be visible, this whole section down here, on our desktop, but it will be visible when we look at it on our phone or our tablet. So let's go ahead and make that row full width, and we'll make it invisible on desktop. So we go to the sizing. We go width 100%. We go to max width. Well, let's just make it 2100 like we did everything else. And we'll go to visibility. We're going to hide that on the desktop. We'll go ahead and save that. Now one more thing. Wouldn't it be nice if this top header stayed in place when we scrolled? Let's go ahead and fix that right away. And we'll go to the section setting. Click on that, and we're going to go to scroll effects, and we're going to go ahead and say stick to top and save. Now we'll save everything one more time. We can go ahead and get out of this now. Let's save our changes. We've created a global header that will appear on our desktop and our mobile devices. Here it is, and hopefully when we scroll it's sticky, and it is. And we don't have our mobile menu showing up down here until we get to the tablet size. And then what happens is we do have the mobile menu show up. It works down here. We set that all up. It's exactly the same settings as the menu was before. Hey, thanks for tuning in to watch this Divi how-to video. Check out my other videos on the Web Life Secrets YouTube channel and on the Web Life Secrets blog.